Hey, everybody. We're here to do a special segment today, and we don't have any guests because we have so much to cover. Just with the election and it being the biggest thing that has gone on in a while, with all of these things going on globally and everybody looking at us here in our elections, particularly because of the past presidential election when we had Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton. And we had just tons of conversation about that period. And as time goes by, here it is, we're getting the facts. And the facts are what we're gonna go with today. So I hope everybody's ready. I know that questions have been pouring out. I've been hearing this and that. But the first question and the first thing that we need to speak about, did we fulfill our obligation, you know, as Americans to actually get out and participate with the vote, the voting process? And as you know, we had several people in the politician community and people at large that we had shows about and we entertained, just so that we can let everybody in this world know how important it is to get out and vote. Because without your vote, you have no voice. And so, to make a long story short, even with all the disasters that were going on across the board, across our nation, with, I mean, serious storms and all kind of everything, this was one of the biggest in history where people took me to their obligation to get out to try to do what they can and what they thought to make this world a better place. And generally, we always have the elderly population that's, you know, just our front running, that they always get out and vote. But record-breaking time, we had new voters that came out and voiced their opinions, that got out there and registered to vote and did their job. And as a result, it was just in every paper, all over, you know, all over the globe, or, you know, everybody from every culture. We had people make that mark. It's the biggest election, lifetime of our lifetime, again. And so, I mean, with that, it let you know that everybody had a voice. We had women step up and actually voted in and actually won. And so we have not as many women as we want and as we need, but it's a start, and it's a good start. Then we have people from all cultures that are symbolic, and it helps just take away all of the racial and prejudice tension that has been going on for the last year or two. And it's one thing for sure, with all the violence and anti-Semitic things that have been going on and occurring here, the world is getting together and letting the rest of the world know that we're not going to stand for it. You know, everybody pays taxes, everybody pays their way, everybody wants a good life. Everybody wants happiness and joy, and everybody deserves it too. So I'm just glad that we can go back and we can relay this important message, but importantly enough, that we can stay on target, that we can move forward towards world peace, and that we don't have to agree, but we can use democracy to set the standard. And in this democracy, we can't allow slander of other people or so forth. We do have laws and we do have rules, and that we do have to abide by them. But if you're an American citizen, you should be able to vote. You should be able to get in there and vote. Now, I understand that we had major problems with just our election machines and so forth. All these things were going wrong. So we have a lot of obstacles, but that's just life. You know, with life, we got to take the good with the bad and make the best of. In my opinion, all of these voting machines, since we know that these days are coming, they should have been checked. They should have been worked on time and time again. I don't know what happened with that. Or maybe it was checked. Maybe we got some new papers that go inside the machines that weren't fit and weren't tried. But however the problem is, we were able to get through it. And if we have to count each vote one by one, and we have to go back to the old ways and the old days, that's fine. Preferably, we could use the digital. You know, maybe we might move forward in the next 5 or 10 years. And even people were suggesting that even we can be able to use a simple thing like our cell phones. So I'm just thinking and praying that we can find the solutions. Not complain, but find solutions to make things get better. and that's action. Action will always speak louder than words. And with that, I'm glad to announce that we were successful in getting things done, no matter what, and there's no regrets. And if they do, have something that we find out something was wrong or something was illegal, we'll handle that when that day comes. But right now, just give yourself a round of applause for getting out there and voting. And also understanding that it's not just these big elections that matter. We really have to take everything back to our community and base organization. Where we live, our community, where we come from, what's that process? What's at stake? We have to be attentive. We have to read the front and the back of people that come out with these new ideas. Some will be great, but we have to be up on what's going on. We can't just allow somebody to throw something on there when we don't know where it's coming from or we don't know anything about it. We have to participate in just living in our own society, in our own areas. And we have to want these good things for our own selves, but we also have to want these good things for the rest of the world. So the little things are important. So we have to really, 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 this was one of the greatest starts in history. But we have to, each and every time, we have to raise the mark. We have to raise the mark for happiness, and we have to really, really, really do better. Because everybody's entitled to happiness. No matter where you come from, no matter what language, everybody's entitled to peace and prosperity. And if we need to look at our Constitution to recognize our own personal faults, nowhere in our Constitution does it say it's about greed. And that's one of the problems that we have to solve amongst ourselves too. As human beings and humankind, do we ever feel that we have enough? And if not, that's something that we have to really worry about and really put to our heart and lift ourselves up in a spiritual kind of being, in a spiritual sense. Because not all things can we be in control of. We can do the good things that create the karma or the deeds that hopefully will change for the better by how? Inviting our neighbors, inviting people worldwide, holding hands and together conquering the evil things and the evil deeds that are being done in this world. Because we already know just from our heart and our own aspirations and our own dreams what this is all about. So we have to break free of all of these wrong, self-centered ideas and think of what's best for America. And that's it. So let's get prepared for the next election, and I'm sure we're going to have a runoff anyway to fill Mrs. James' last position. So that probably be maybe in about February or something like that. So now, with this, we have to grow. It's not like, oh, okay, we voted now, the election is over now. Of course, we want the people our candidates, when their time comes, to get to work, because we already voiced what we want done. And all of this illegal crap and all of these things that shouldn't be done, let's make sure that these things aren't even allowed for individuals to be able to do these negative things. So let's just tighten up, and also let these individuals sometimes pledge allegiance to the flag. You know what I mean? The flag is very important. You know what I mean? The red, white, and blue is very important. And sometimes some of the old things from the spirit and the heart, you know, to really make America, you know, well, it's always been great, but to keep up with the standards that we have, so high standards for America, that's the thing. So we really need to buckle down, do our homework, get our research together, and most importantly, let our government know what it can do for us as the people so that we can live a peaceful existence, an existence where at the end of the road, everybody's life mattered. Whatever their record is, when their record is done, their existence on this planet mattered. It was some substance, something that was so powerful and so strong that all of these ideas and good actions, correct actions, were good, and it passes on to the people that's around that actually got to see it, and the people that are coming along that get to read about it in our history books. Because right now, everything that's being done right now is a part of history. So there's going to be notes. And we have technology. And we have social media. So as good as it gets, you know. So we can really, 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 really all put together and do 100%. What we did just now, we raised that level, and I'm proud of everybody. We got up to at least 75%, but there's 100% we have to reach. We can always do better. We must always do better for mankind, for our brothers and our sisters. We must always do better for our animals and our fish life. We must always do better for our environment. We must always do better in space and the things that we don't know, but things that we can imagine and things we can calculate. We must always strive to do better. And in that, we can do the right things that keep the planet healthy, not make the planet get sick. There's some things that are just natural occurrences, and there's some things that we, as a nation, in particular, we may not even know about these things, these tests and all these different things that they do that are causing all of these terrible disturbances. You know what I mean? And that's something that we have to vote about too. We need to vote about how urgent is it for us to make sure that we can coexist with this planet and that we can live. You know, how important is that? How important is that to be able to still see all of the different species of fish and birds and mammals? How important is that? And we also have to recognize that our science is a beautiful thing, it's a wonderful thing, but we need to have the actual species. We can't keep on killing species that don't exist unless it evolves that way through the natural way of the way the planet and the Earth and the other planets in the solar system work. Now that's different. There's nothing we can do about that, because that would be like trying to stop time. We can't stop time. At least we can't do it right now. Maybe in 100 years, maybe we can. But right now, we know that each day, a new day goes by, whether we like it or not, whether it's good for us or not. And we come in and we go, human life and all life, and that's the process. And unless something happens that we don't know about, let's be prepared to just live life, to be able to give life back to the trees, to the plants. It's not about greed. We don't have to destroy the oceans. We don't have to put plastic in and create things that just something for us to be able to drink from and destroy the seas and the ocean. We need to be careful, because when we look at civilization, we've been around for a long time, but not that long. If we want to see our grandchildren and our great-grandchildren, and just life itself persist, then we have to stop causing them to suffer. We must stop destroying up the atmosphere. We must stop destroying, everything. Because if we look at, there's only one culprit that's destroying everything, and that's mankind. How do we know? We know. We know that we never see any of the animals destroying anything. We never see any of the fish world or the underworld and the water destroying anything. So we know whenever there's an unbalance, that we've done so much to make that happen. Things just don't happen like that. So when we vote, we got to vote conscientiously. We got to vote for correctness. And correctness is happiness, peace, not so much being at odds, but what do we have in common? Not so much of being about making money, because when do we have enough money? That's the question. And is it always a good thing to always go into debt? These are the things that we got to look about and think about for our next elections and for all elections. What's so important? Life itself, people being able to survive and have a good life, or creating barriers and numbers that directly turn against humankind, where 1 or 2% have everything and the rest of the world is struggling for little things. So overall, when we look at the whole picture, it's about America, but it's about this whole world. But from what we see, we already know that we made millions and millions and millions of mistakes. And can we be courageous? And can we have the courage to redesign the way that it really should be? What was intended when the people got together to form a government and make laws and make rules. And then we have to look at, can we be courageous enough to just allow people to be people without us prejudging them because of their skin, or because of what their language, or because of whatever. All of these things that really don't even matter. At the end of the day, a person is born, hopefully will have the opportunity to be all that they can be, and also, in being all that they can be, do things that they want to do for their lives. You're going to have caretakers, you're going to have doctors, you're going to have nurses, you're going to have business people, you're going to have people that love the water, and you're going to have people that love space. And since there's a playground and an area for everything, then human beings can fit in what they desire. So we have to stop, thinking in such a small circle to be such a huge world, such a huge universe. And we have to also be thankful for our armed forces and the people that go around the world trying to protect the world and making sure that these people that sign up and all. Some come back, you know, not right. They've seen so many negative things that they can't, it hurts them so bad they can't even think about it. But, I mean, and everybody does a job. Everybody does a job. Every job is important. But we have to let the world understand that we need workers. We need some people to lead. We need to create jobs that are common where everybody can make a decent living. It's only right. We need not take advantage of other countries. We need not be taken advantage either. Because we can come up with things that are more universally equipped for people to find their way. And when people use science or create things that the world can use that's positive for the world, of course they should be, you know, rewarded for these type of things. Because this is what it's all about. But never should it be that we have so many homeless people and so many people that can't have a place to live because we're constantly with greed, building and building and building and building, and nothing for the poor. Something is wrong. We have to have adequate, and we have to be adequate for everyone. The world is big enough for everyone that's in this world and on this planet to have a place to live. The world is big enough for everybody in this world to have food in their stomach. The world is big enough for people that have serious problems or deformed and that kind of thing, to have shelters for them and people of that kind so that they can have a good life and be happy as well and be taken care of and provided for. So we have to stick with what's good for the world, especially now. This here is the holiday. This is Thanksgiving coming up. And as an American, I'm totally grateful despite, you know, we all go through our own ups and downs. But think about what Thanksgiving is all about. And we should be thinking about that Thanksgiving spirit every time, any election and anything that we do. Because it's not just about me, per se. It's about the universe, the world. And I want to leave you with that to think about. And bless everybody, benefits to everybody. And let's take action to cause great karma, goodness to come to all people, no matter where they come from. Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving and happy holidays.
Thanks for watching this episode of the Real Self Talk Show with Sylvia Gina Hunt. And now stay tuned to this live show about voting. Enjoy.
Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountain majesties above the fruited plain. America, America, God shed His grace on thee.
carols I hear, each singing what belongs to him and to her and to none else. The day what belongs to the day. At night, a party of young fellows, robust, friendly, singing with open mouths their strong, melodious songs.
B.E.A.T